Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's GTA video, we're going to be taking a look at what Liberty City was supposed to look like. Some very early sketches of what Grand Theft Auto 4's map was supposed to be, probably well before the game got even started. So this is a really cool find by the guys on the GTA forum site. I was made aware of it from a tweet from former Rockstar Games insider Yan2295. This is really cool. We've looked at stuff like this in the past, especially for Grand Theft Auto 5. So let's just go ahead and jump into it. This is what it looks like right here. We'll start on the left because that gives us the most details, and you guys can kind of see what the shape of the map was going to look like. Now, you're going to have to ignore the San Andreas map in the background. That was very likely used for scaling purposes because I'm sure at the time Rockstar was trying to make something very, very similar. And you guys can see here that it's very different from the Liberty City map that we obviously have in the game. And there's even real life locations here. So this was very early on before anything was made up. You have a large area of mountains. You have Buffalo, Syracuse, New Jersey. You have the Bronx. You have Connecticut. You've got Yankee Stadium. You have the Queens, Brooklyn, the airport, Coney Island. You have Rockaway. You have Fire Islands. You have the Hamptons. And you guys can see, again, it's almost a completely different shape than what we've seen so far in the final version. So that's really cool right there. And on the right-hand side of the screen, you guys can see what it looks like, kind of like drawn on a napkin. It's kind of like some of the best ideas and first creations are always done in like pencil on a napkin. So that right there is really, really cool. And in case you guys are wondering where this is coming from, it's coming from an artist's portfolio. I'll leave a link to it in the description. And I am doing this only so that you guys can check out some of the other work that he has done. There is a good chance that once Rockstar gets wind of this, they might make him remove some of this stuff. So hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully he's gotten approval to do that. But we also get to see more interesting images that look like this. These are really early on cool looks at Grand Theft Auto 4's Liberty City and sort of like the behind the scenes of how they ended up putting the buildings together. That right there is really awesome, especially if you're really into game development and design. And there's a lot more images like this that you guys should totally check out on this guy's portfolio of not only Liberty City, but there's also San Andreas in there as well and the entire map for that game. So some really, really cool stuff on here, including, I think, some beta screenshots as well. Now, these are locations that eventually made their way into the final version of the game, but there might be some minor differences here and there that you guys might be able to look for and find. So that's pretty cool. I'm not going to lie to you guys. It's not often that we get to see Rockstar artist portfolios like this appear online. And that's really what Liberty City was going to look like way back in the day. Now, there's a couple of interesting things that you can actually find on this guy's page. And one of the things you can do is hover over the images on that site. And over the early Grand Theft Auto 4 images, the description is a couple of the initial sketches I did while designing Liberty City for the game Grand Theft Auto 4. How about that? That is some pretty cool stuff right there. And he even gives more descriptions of himself regarding the GTA 4 photos we saw. He said, on Grand Theft Auto 4, I was a lead artist. I initially blocked out the land masses for the whole environment, and then took charge of the Brooklyn, Bronx, and Queens section, in charge of the 12 artists. I wrote the look and process documents that were used for the whole map, as well as being in charge of the sections. I was hands-on and modeled and textured the starting areas myself. Red Hook, Coney Island, Brighton Beach, Dumbo, the Brooklyn Bridge, Williamsburg, and Park Slope. The images here are from these early locations, areas I actually modeled and textured entirely myself, environments only, cars and characters created by other artists. That is really cool stuff right there, again, especially if you're a big fan of GTA in general. And it is not surprising that these images have actually come out because I believe it was Rockstar's original plan to do way more than just Liberty City. As you guys know, GTA 4's map Liberty City doesn't really include anything else other than the city itself. There's no mountains, there's no countryside, there's no forest. There's not a whole lot of that. And originally, Rockstar's plan for Grand Theft Auto 4, I think there was either time limitations or console limitations, was that they were going to make like New York State, not just New York City. So there were going to be things like mountains and sprawling forests, sort of the same environment we see in GTA 5. You have the main city, but you have all this other landmass as well. And it looks like from this original sketch that the game's third island was supposed to be more New Jersey than New York. So even from the original sketches, it looks like Rockstar was trying to make it more diverse than just New York City alone. And this is really cool. And it's kind of a shame that we haven't seen anything else from Rockstar in terms of Liberty City or Grand Theft Auto 4. There have been multiple rumors and reports of Liberty City returning in some way, shape, or form for Grand Theft Auto 5 or GTA Online. There are obviously reports of Grand Theft Auto 6, the next installment in the GTA series, taking place in Liberty City as well, or at least a part of it. I think the most reputable Liberty City leak since the Grand Theft Auto 4 era was this one part of Middle Park that seems to have been remade in Grand Theft Auto 5's engine. That happened a couple of years ago, and according to reports, it looks like that the idea, whatever Rockstar was doing with Grand Theft Auto 4 or Liberty City, was ultimately scrapped because we haven't seen anything like that since. So I don't know what Rockstar's plan was with Liberty City and GTA 5's engine. I don't know if we will ever see the light of day for whatever that project was supposed to be. But for now, this is what Liberty City was supposed to look like. It was going to be a lot different than the original version that we saw. And the original version, as you guys can see right here, is mainly just the city itself and is entirely based off of New York City locations and landmarks. It doesn't include New Jersey or any of the other surrounding areas in New York State or on the East Coast of the United States. It's just simply New York City. So hopefully if we do get something in the future regarding Liberty City, it's more than just Liberty City. Hopefully it is the entire state of New York, or it is some part of its surrounding areas. That would just ultimately be ideal, because Liberty City is amazing, but it has so much more to offer. And I think that was a part of why GTA 4 has some weird limitations, like there's no flyable airplanes in the game because the map is so small. But I would, of course, love to hear from you guys in those comments down below. What do you think of the original version for GTA 4's Liberty City map? Let me know what you guys are thinking in those comments down below. I'd love to hear from you guys down there. If you guys did go on to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new, or you want to stay up to date on all the latest GTA and Red Dead Redemption videos that I'm doing here on my channel. And be sure to ring that notification bell as well. Sometimes YouTube just doesn't work, and if you ring that bell, you'll always be guaranteed to be notified when new videos arrive. But of course, as always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.